This episode is brought to you by the Slash and Cast Podcast Network.
There are legends around here,
Who died in Meiji, fucking king of the zombies?
even if only in their own minds. Forgotten, but not yet dead.
I want to play a game.
Some have tried to stop them, but they keep coming back.
Don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out.
Coming to entertain you. They are the Crystal Lake Soldiers.
Welcome back to the Crystal Lake Soldiers podcast. My name is Isaiah, joined tonight by Mark, Sean, and Ted. How are you guys doing this weekend?
Feeling pretty good, man.
Doing great.
Doing good.
Awesome. Well, we are this week going to be talking about our favorite direct-to-video horror releases. But before we get into all that, what have you guys been up to this week?
Well, besides not sleeping much, man, I've watched quite a few movies. Because we were talking about all those our favorite in the franchise, man. I ended up watching Nightmare on Elm Street 4 and Texas Chainsaw 3. So, and I watched Student Bodies last night.
Nice.
I was bored and needed to laugh. Man, that movie is so freaking funny. And then I woke up after sleeping for a little bit, man. I saw Escape from LA. It just started on Encore or some shit. So I watched that last night. Or this morning, I guess you should say.
That's awesome.
Which is fun, man. I hadn't watched that in a long time. It's not. I don't think it's as good as Escape from New York, but it's still a fun movie. So
I agree. It is definitely a fun
movie. Like. Yeah. Escape from New York is more serious and dark, where this one's more fun. It doesn't take itself as serious, but I still like it. And I did catch the second half of Joe Bob.
Humanoids, yep.
Humanoids from the Deep, which is a great movie, but honestly, his interview with Roger Corman, it was great, man. That was like some great stuff.
That shit was the highlight of that night.
Hell yeah. If you don't want to watch the movie, just watch those parts, man. It's worth it. Might learn something maybe. So.
Right?
I want to see his before the movie breakdown.
It was pretty good. Oh, and for some reason, Sony decided to be nice to me and sent me an email and said, hey, if you want to buy a PlayStation, click here tomorrow. So I got a PlayStation 5. So it'll be here Monday.
Hell yeah.
So I feel broke, but I'm happy I got it. So.
Yeah, no kidding.
Have you played the new Fortnite season?
Yeah, it's fun, man.
Yeah. I both love and hate the spaceships.
Yeah, man. I thought they were really cool until my youngest kid was like, watch this, and crashed into me and killed me. And I was like, oh, man. There's only one team left. But it's great, man. It's pretty cool. It's such a change from the last one, which I was kind of half and half on. But this one's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So we've been playing a lot of that, trying to keep up with the daily quests and find all the alien artifacts and things like that.
The battle pass is weird though, but it kind of works out the same.
It is. It's they try to like make it seem like you can unlock whatever you want in whatever order, and that's just not true. It's cool that they added Rick and Morty, and once you complete the battle pass, one of the extra skins that you can unlock is Toxic Rick.
Yeah.
And his harvesting pickaxe is the Morty hammer.
Hey, I didn't realize it at first, and then I was like, oh, that's his little feet at the bottom and everything. It's kind of funny. So.
Yeah. We've been watching Lock and Key. We're getting pretty close to finishing that. And we've been watching Loki too. I was a little underwhelmed about the last episode. I'm just waiting for like the action to pick up. You're not seeing a whole lot of like Loki hijinks you would expect to see. There's like some theories going around on the internet about the character reveal at the end, and I kind of agree with a lot of them. And if they can't turn out to be true, it's going to end up being a really cool twist and a good story. So I'm still excited to finish it.
Okay.
I don't think we watched really a whole lot of anything else. Just finally turned on the console, started playing what's that? Destroy All Humans on Xbox.
Nice.
that remake, it looks so good. I don't know if you played it.
I haven't played the remake. I obviously played the original, and 2, but I haven't done the remake yet.
It's just a whole lot of fun. That's pretty much my week.
Okay. What about you, Ted?
Just watching movies. Almost done with my Vinegar Syndrome stuff. I've only got the Gialli Volume 1 or Volume 2 box set left to watch.
Okay.
I've watched everything else. The TV horror box set Volume 1, not a big fan of. They weren't really horror movies. They're more like dramas. The Cardona box set Volume 1, I actually enjoyed.
Yeah.
All 3 movies. So I'm looking forward to Volume 2 for that. That's pretty much it.
I did have an update on the I guess it turned into a dispute with Warner Brothers stealing my Instagram post.
Oh yeah.
I just sent them a message and said, "Hey, this is just Pokemon cards and all the music came from TikTok." They gave me my post back, so screw you, Warner Brothers.
Fuck them.
That's crazy.
God, that's funny. That's so funny that even happened. Well, it's not funny, but it is because it's so stupid. But
They probably just have like some algorithm that just
That's
searches
what
Oh,
it
definitely.
is.
posts.
A couple of things of my daughter's when she just posts stuff and is listening to music was flagged.
yeah.
For copyright. And I was like, really, guys?
I believe it. I really believe it. Well, my week's been kind of. I haven't had really a whole lot going on. Been mostly watching Schitt's Creek because I'm halfway through the last season, and then Friday I watched the season finale for Last Drive-In, which was Little Shop of Horrors, the original, and then Humanoids from the Deep. So that was a great watch. Beyond that, no other movies I've watched this week. I did watch a little bit of wrestling towards the beginning of the week, and then kind of yesterday and today, a little bit of Whose Line Is It Anyways, after I went back to the 50s at the Minnesota State Fair yesterday. But yeah, basically beyond that, I've played a little bit of video games, but not a whole lot this week. It's just been kind of well, honestly, it's been kind of a busy week just with work and then just kind of doing stuff. So it's been kind of a productive week. So I just really haven't had a whole lot of time for just sitting and watching stuff or playing stuff this week, which is fine. I mean, it's not like I need to be spending all my time doing that shit. So been kind of a boring week nonetheless. So that's kind of all I've really had going on this week. So not very exciting, to say the least. So, but Back to the 50s was fun. It was kind of like the first event I've gone to since, obviously everything finally opening up now. So that was kind of cool just to go and just kind of walk around with my girlfriend and whatnot. So it was kind of an impromptu kind of thing because I wasn't going to be going, and then she invited me because she was there with her family because they were celebrating Father's Day, and that's how they did it. So I, on a whim, just went, and yeah, it was fun. But yeah, so not a whole lot going on otherwise. But yeah, so kind of moving on from there, I didn't really have a whole lot for news this week. I know we've been talking a lot about Toxic Avenger, especially in the last few weeks. And Jesus Christ, they just keep every week is new information. Because last week was the reveal that Kevin Bacon was announced as the villain for Toxic Avenger. Now this week they've announced 3 other people joining the cast, including Elijah Wood, who's now a part of the cast. So I mean, This cast just keeps growing as they're getting ready to start shooting this fucking thing.
As it grows, I get less excited, excuse me, because I think it's gonna. I don't know, man. We'll see. It's gonna be like this mainstream version of Toxic, where everybody makes fun of it. I think. I don't know.
I agree. They're making it too Hollywood.
We'll see. I could be wrong, but it just seems. I'm sketchy, man. I was just talking about this last night. How they take all these things we loved and they put fun of it instead of paying tribute. So.
Yeah. Like I've been saying the last few weeks, I'm cautious about this. I'm hoping for the best, but I'm not going in there optimistic. But I'm hoping for the best. But who really fucking knows? Because they seem to just fuck up everything nowadays. So I mean, why not fuck this up? So. So that's kind of the update I had about that. Other than that, there really wasn't a whole lot. Kind of the only other thing that kind of stood out to me for news for this week was EA made a tease about bringing back an established IP for a video game, and it's seeming to maybe point to Dead Space coming back, and that being revived. So who knows?
That's been rumored for a while now. It might be true.
It might be because it was all kind of based off of who was it? Jeff Grubb made a comment saying something kind of cryptic, just saying regarding their newest project, and said we're gonna see it if we're not dead first. So that was kind of cryptic, and that's why a lot of people are thinking it might be Dead Space, but who really fucking knows? It's kind of one of those things where you just got to take with a grain of salt because, you said, this has been teased for fucking years now. I mean, Dead Space 3 came out
PlayStation 3, right?
Yeah.
It's been a long time since there's been a Dead Space.
So who really fucking knows at this point?
EA has a lot of vaulted IPs.
Mm-hmm. They sure do. So it really could be anything, honestly. Who really fucking knows? But if it's Dead Space, that's fucking great because I love the at least the first two Dead Space games. I don't remember if I played 3 or not, so I can't really establish an opinion on that one. But if it's giving us more Dead Space, especially on the next gen consoles, I'm fucking for it. So.
There's also been a lot of rumors going around that Hideo Kojima is working on another Silent Hill game, and there's a lot of like people that put together all these like tweets and posts and everything that point towards it.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be amazing.
Yes, it would, especially because we never got cool. Silent Hills.
Yeah,
which was a big ass disappointment. But.
Well, I got a couple disappointing news notes.
All right, yeah. Hit me.
I heard of Disney's Predator 5 or reboot or whatever the hell it's going to be is going to head straight to Hulu. So expect big things. And
it's got to be great if Disney don't want it on their streaming service.
Right?
I was like, it's like at least they didn't PG it, I guess. So I don't know. And MG, I don't know if y'all guys discussed this last week because I didn't finish listening, but MGM is reboot Blackula, which
we did not talk about that.
It just sounds like a corny move trying to play on all the stuff going on in the world, in my opinion. But,
oh gosh.
Probably starring LeBron James as Blackula. We'll see.
Oh, dude, what if they like also redo Blackenstein, and they can do a Blackula versus Blackenstein
and have him be The Rock, and then it could be The Rock versus LeBron James.
No, forget The Rock.
No, I'm trying to make it terrible, but then
and then they could have a Black Universal universe.
We'll finally get the monster universe. Oh man! And I got some Blu-ray notes. Blue Underground gave a street date for their 4Ks of Maniac Cop 2 and 3.
Okay.
October 19th. All kinds of special features, man. Look it up. I'm not telling you. But
commentary by Alan Smithy for Maniac Cop 3.
That's great.
AKA William Lustig.
Yes.
Because he hates that movie.
And Spiral's got a I don't know if all of it's coming out. I know they got a steelbook. I don't know if everything else is coming out, but it's July 20th on that. So I expect that to be the release date for everything.
I would imagine so.
Yeah. And the Film Detective is releasing Frankenstein's Daughter on October 19th. And Labyrinth is getting a 4K 35th anniversary edition on August 17th.
Fucking hey.
And this week, don't forget Half Baked and Strike Commando 1 and 2. And the following week, Walking the Edge.
I love it.
Oh, last but not least, guys, I want to do a RIP. John Paragon passed away. If you don't know who that is, he was John B on Pee-wee's Playhouse. And he was Elvira's writing partner. So he was responsible for a lot of that stuff. So
Mecca lecca high, Mecca hiney ho, John.
Yeah, both him and Ned Beatty passed away too.
Yeah.
Frank Bonner passed away.
Frank Bonner.
Yep.
There's so many this past week or so.
WKRP in Cincinnati.
That dude was in like so many things. I was
just the 10 of us. As the head of the school that the coach worked at.
Yep. Oh, such a bummer. Especially when people start dropping in just groups like that. It's always hard. But... Alrighty. Well, are we ready to talk about our favorite direct-to-video horror movies?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's get this started.
You sounded so excited.
I know after I was like, that didn't come out very good.
Yes, sir. If I have to.
If I got to. All right, who wants to start us off?
I'll go, I guess. Now, I just did like a lot of Google searches, and I'm pretty sure all of these are direct to video, but if they're wrong, I'm sorry.
We'll chastise you.
We'll flog you.
First on my list, I got Castle Freak.
Nice one. Yep. That's a good one.
Heck yeah. That's a Father's Day watch for me, too, by the way.
Nice.
We want you to search the castle. That's right up there with Christopher Walken's line, "The ice is gonna break." Which is coming out on Blu-ray from Shout Factory July 20th.
Yep. Listen every week, you know.
Exactly.
I'm waiting for you. You screw up every week, Sean. I'm trying to help you out here, but you just.
No, you're just not here enough. I definitely mentioned that one because Dev was like,
I'm about to take you off that job as HR. So.
Self-appointed HR here. I love it. Way to take charge there, Ted.
The ice. Is
Just remember, Ted, Sean gave you that cabinet position, and he can take it away.
That's not a cabinet position.
He made you secretary of something when he's the president, right?
Secretary of Funk, baby. We got the funk. All right, I'll be quiet.
My next one on my list, I got Jack Frost.
Okay.
Yeah, dude. That's on my list too.
It's a fun little. It's something I watch around every Christmas time.
It's one of Dad's favorites, man. Isaiah's favorites, man. No, I know he hates
Christmas
it.
movie ever made.
I don't hate it. It's not my favorite movie, but it's I don't necessarily hate it.
Couldn't stand.
Isaiah's favorite is Jack Frost 2. That's his favorite.
Yeah, who does like that?
I don't think I've seen it just after
Oh,
hearing
man.
what everybody says about it.
Oh man, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's a fun little murderous snowman. It's not the happy-go-lucky Disney movie.
It's the one you sneak in the Disney one's case to freak everybody out.
I'm issuing a challenge to everybody right now. Go to Disney World dressed up as the crazy horror killer snowman Jack Frost and see what happens. Video, record it and put it on YouTube and other various social media.
Hashtag Jack Frost Army or something like that.
Writing a sequel, man.
Jack Frost 3.
The next on my list, I just added the whole series of Sharknado.
Nice. I like it.
They are so fun. And that's
Okay,
that's like the theme of my directors, mostly just goofy fun movies. Some of them are serious, but I mean they're so funny, and it's great when a movie can be off the walls and not make you roll your eyes.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not big on Sci-Fi Channel movies, but those definitely were winners.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for a while I didn't want to check them out just because it sounded stupid, and then I heard Ted talk about how much he loved them, so I gave him a chance, and they
My
are
That's
daughter
great.
is the one who got him into that.
Yeah, Sean's daughter loved it so much. I was like, okay, I need to check this because I was like, Mark, I was like, man, this is so stupid. I mean, it's like they're being stupid on purpose, or it was my way of thinking was somewhere along that, like they're trying too hard to make a stupid B movie, but
Yeah.
then Sean's daughter is like loved it, so I was like, okay, I'll check it out. It was like the first one was free on Prime, so I watched it, and I was like, holy crap, this is great. And I watched the second one, and that was even better. So I was like, yeah, I'm hooked. This is great.
Yeah, that's my favorite still, the second.
I love Sharknado.
I think I still got to watch the last one. I'm not sure.
I love it just because, they keep pretty much the same principal cast for the most part. And other
Yeah, it
characters
actually has continuity.
yeah, other characters show back up, even if they're not in all of them, but they show back up in later ones. And like, what's her face? She's like in every other one.
I just love all the crazy cameos that you wouldn't expect. Like, there's always a wrestler in one of them, and like
Kurt
a big
Angle
name
in the
actor.
second one is like a
It had
fireman or something.
that one guy from Shark Tank was on it. There's so many different cameos.
I mean, wasn't he the president in part 3? That's what it was.
It was something like that. Yeah.
Dolph
Next thing-
Lundgren at the end of part 5.
Yeah, and they had
the
what was his name? The original TV show Hulk.
Lou Ferrigno.
Oh,
Lou
Lou
Ferrigno.
Ferrigno,
Lou
yeah.
Ferrigno was in it.
the Game of Thrones guy was in one of them in a theater. Sitting in a theater, and he's just like, "Oh no, winter is coming!" Like the sharks break into the theater.
Oh shit.
Yeah, if you haven't seen them, at least give the first one a try. If you have just a smidge of a sense of humor, you'll probably enjoy it.
Yeah.
Next on my list, I got Maniac Cop 2.
Nice. Yep.
It's actually my favorite in the whole franchise.
Same.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's just a great crazed cop slasher movie.
Mm-hmm.
Then I
I
got
put it up against
Manborg.
action movies, even, man. That's a great
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got Manborg. I watched that for the first time with Sean a couple months ago.
That's
And
great. too.
that movie was so good, man.
I'm gonna tear you apart. I look forward to that.
And then the
I love
whatever.
the Australian guy.
I love the. I don't know if he was like just like the lead of the guards or if he was like a doctor or something. But he was coming to like give that chick flowers.
Mm.
He had a crush.
From the same people who did Psycho Gorman.
Man, always mess
Yeah, Psycho Gorman, the next movie on my list.
I love it.
Psycho Gorman's great.
Psycho Gorman is probably going to be a yearly watch for me.
Yeah.
We had so much fun watching it. It just felt like I was watching like a B horror movie mashed up with Power Rangers, and that's just that's insane to me. I love it.
As warped as the movie is, too, it's got a lot of heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
The ending, man, the ending is a lot of heart. I shall give your warrior's death. No, not that! Tortilla. I love that alien council. Don't worry, we got a plan B. Pulls out a gun. He wants to commit suicide first.
I love when he like flashback to like his older days, like he'd be like riding like a hover motorcycle into battle, and then the little girl would snap him out of it. It's like I wanted to hear the rest of that story. That was badass.
The little girl is such a psychopath.
Right.
Yes.
Turns her
Damn.
crush into a giant brain.
Oh,
Poor kid. That poor
my
kid.
absolute favorite about that whole movie was the zombie cop that just kept trying to shoot himself.
Yeah. God.
One of my favorite parts is the montage when they're walking through town and that kid makes fun of him and say, "Hey, nice Halloween costume." He just looks at him and the kid blows up. That's the greatest ever. Nobody mentions a kid blowing up. It's like people are like, "Yeah, we hate that kid." Psycho Gorman is just great.
It is great.
I got 3 more. I got Terrifier.
Yes.
It's nuts.
This up there is one of my all-time favorite horror icons. I would say that they have the one movie so far, and I think it was good enough. Actually, I guess technically it's 2, but I think Terrifier was good enough to solidify art in my mind as a horror icon.
Yeah, definitely. I can't wait for the sequel.
It looks so good. And then my last 2, I have Trick or Treat and Curse of Chucky.
Nice.
Nice.
I like it. Those are good picks, definitely. I'll go next here, seeing as Mark took like half the ones I had on my list.
Suck it, nerd.
My list is still sacred.
Good. I'm glad at least somebody's is, because half of mine is fucking gone. Some of the ones that you mentioned, I will mention again, though, because Castle Freak is definitely high on my list for direct-to-video movies, because number 1, Stuart Gordon, number 2, fucking Lovecraft. I mean, it's always a great combination when you have those two together. Jeffrey Combs, Barbara Crampton. I mean, it's fucking such a good movie, and it for being a direct-to-video movie. It's just fucking great. I fucking love that movie. I've always loved that movie. Curse of Chucky was another one that you mentioned. I really like that one. I like how they brought it back to the more serious side of things with that after the abysmal Seed of Chucky, because that was horseshit. I refuse to watch that movie ever again.
What movie was that? All I heard was static.
Actually, really did forget about it. For a little while. I was like, somebody said, I was like, damn, that's right, man. I forgot that.
Yeah, fucking Seed of Chucky. Fuck that movie. Such a horseshit.
I remember
movie.
sitting in the theater after that movie ended. I'm like, what did I just watch?
Right.
I definitely didn't watch a Chucky movie. I don't know what
You're pissing your pants. You're pissing your pants.
To kind of go off of Curse of Chucky, though, I really did like Cult of Chucky as well. I like how they put back a little bit of the comedy in there, but it wasn't as over the top as like Seed of Chucky. And it kind of had this little quirkiness to it that I kind of liked, and I liked the whole like multiple Chuckies kind of thing that they went with, that obviously they're going to be using in the TV series and all that, and just kind of the evolution off of Curse of Chucky. I liked it. I know Cult isn't a lot of people's go-to, but I enjoyed it.
I love when he was talking to the schizophrenic lady. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna kill you next.
I love it when the 3 Chuckies are talking to each other. He's like, I've never felt so alive. You've only been alive for like 5 minutes. Oh, yeah. I thought that was great.
Yep.
I thought the movie was great. It's not on par with some of the other ones, but it's still a good movie. I thought it was funny.
Yeah, I still like that a lot. So definitely those 2 are on there. Maniac Cop 2, obviously, because I mean that's the best in the fucking series and it is so perfect. Trick or Treat, obviously you already mentioned as well. I mean that's like the perfect Halloween movie. I watch it every year. It's fucking phenomenal. There's no reason that a direct-to-video movie should be as good as fucking Trick or Treat was. It was fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, after my first watch, it became one of my top Halloween movies.
Yeah.
Of all time.
Yep, definitely. And then, on the topic of Halloween movies, you obviously mentioned Terrifier as well, and that is also another one. I mean, fucking Art the Clown is such a perfect villain, especially horror villain, and I can't wait to see Terrifier 2. It's going to be so fucking good.
Him and his little tricycle.
Yes. It's so fucking good. Now, kind of some of the ones that haven't been mentioned yet on my list, and I kind of did my list on enjoyment, not necessarily, say quality movies, but just how I enjoy them. Ice Cream Man is definitely on that list. I fucking enjoy that fucking movie. Clint Howard's fucking genius, and it's such a fun fucking movie. I have fun watching that movie. Plus the head on the fucking ice cream cone. I mean, that's just fucking superb. So good. So fucking good. So Ice Cream Man's definitely on that list just because I fucking have fun watching that movie. Summer of '84 is a really good movie. It kind of has that kind of Stranger Things vibe to it. I like the dark ending it went because you don't really necessarily expect it to be as dark and gloomy as it was.
No.
And I fucking love that movie. So that was probably one of the, especially more recent, like really good direct-to-video movies. Like really well done. I fucking love that movie. And kind of the last one I had on my list is Scare Package, which they premiered during the last drive-in last season. So it's, anthology movie and all that. That movie was a lot of fun. And obviously the last segment has Joe Bob in it, and that was fucking phenomenal too. I just thought overall
that one too, man.
Yeah. So I really enjoyed that one. And like the segments didn't drag out too long, which I kind of like. So they did more segments, which was kind of different because normally with those anthology ones, you usually see like 3 or 4 segments. This one had like 6 or 7, but they were shorter ones, so it was like easier to digest, and then they just kept moving along. And just kind of having the whole movie store story overlapping and tying everything together was kind of cool too. I fucking love that. And then obviously
Joe Bob wannabe.
Yes. And then just having Joe Bob at the end just made it perfect. And then you had like Dustin Rhodes in it. I mean, it was fucking just phenomenal. I really loved Scare Package a lot, and that's definitely one that's going to become a yearly watch for me.
The anthologies aren't always done well either, man.
No.
Good. I enjoyed it. Good mention. I guess I'll go next. We'll save Ted's best for last.
All right.
I will say my favorite line from Sea of Chucky is, "They're executing Martha Stewart today." That's my favorite line.
Most of mine's hard, but I got a kind of a mix of a couple other things, man, because there's a lot of great direct-to-video movies, period, honestly. I was surprised. They may not be considered great by other people, but they're great to me. So I didn't put Sharknado on my list, but I got Three-Headed Shark Attack, which is a fun movie with Danny Trejo and Rob Van Dam.
Nice.
I don't know if any of the other headed Shark Attack movies are good or not, but that one was fun, man. And RVD's like the hero, so... 976 Evil 2, The Astral Factor. It is not the best movie, man, but I still enjoy it. It's nowhere near as good as the first. The first is a classic, but if you're into the first one, it's worth checking out, man. It's a completely different story, but you know anything about, like, I don't know, astrophysics or anything like that, you might be able to get into it. What else we got here? Uncle Sam, which is a movie I can never get anyone to really enjoy, but I like it and watch it every July 4th.
That's a great
It's
movie.
another Bill Lustig. I think maybe the last movie he directed.
That was the last one he directed, yeah.
Yeah. So I enjoy it, man. It is corny. It's got Isaac Hayes in it though, and it's got an alright message. It's pretty cool.
I shouldn't have told him my war stories. I think he liked it.
He's the highlight of it, and
Isaac Hayes is
honestly,
great
Uncle
in that
Sam
movie.
walking around killing people.
Robert Forster is that a politician guy.
Yeah, he's a major piece of crap.
Yeah, he's a major butthole in that movie. But he plays a good part.
Pumpkinhead 2, Blood Wings.
Oh yeah,
I forgot about that
That is
one. That's a good
one
one.
of my favorite Pumpkinhead movies, honestly. It adds a lot of depth to the character and just a lot of fun, man. Good one.
Doesn't it? Is it Blossom or Punky Brewster who stars in that movie? Also, as one of the.
It's Punky
teens?
Brewster.
It is
Yeah.
Punky. That's right. She gets impaled. It's awesome.
Yeah.
When I see that scene, I always go, "Whoa!"
Speaking of that, Rest Stop, which stars Joey Lawrence, but which
He
I
plays-
was
he
never
plays
going to
the
watch and was bored as hell, and it was coming on. This was years ago, and I was like, wow, man. That
Don't
kinda
waste your time with
surprised
the
me.
sequel. Let me just help save.
Yeah, unfortunately, I did, and it was
Oh,
terrible.
okay.
but-
It is. The sequel is
Yeah.
so terrible.
I didn't list these individually, but the Subspecies series is a great vampire story. I love basically all of those, including Vampire Journal.
Michelle. Nothing can.
Yeah, I don't know. Radu is just so great to me, man. I don't know. He scares the hell out of me. And Silent Night, Deadly Night 3 through 5 are definitely not the best movies, but I love watching them. They're cheesy. Part 4 isn't even freaking Christmas, but it's a good witch story. So I don't know, man. I like them. Most people.
I do like 3. I do like
Yeah.
3 a lot.
That's the one everybody seems to really shit on.
Three
man.
bores me to tears, man. Like you have Bill Moseley in your movie, and he does nothing but has like a freaking thing on his head, and he's just walking around like a zombie.
I think it's hilarious because he's escaped from the hospital. Oh man,
And then you have, was it the girl that's blind in that movie or the guy? I can't remember which one. I
it's
think
the girl.
Yeah. It's just boring. Nothing really happens.
Bloody Murder 2. I think the first one stinks, but for cheesy horror, Bloody Murder 2 was.
That's actually not a bad one. Yeah.
It's got Tiffany Shepis. I
Yep.
think that's the only recognizable name, but it's decent, man. All right, some better movies now, but Class of 1999, Part 2, The Substitute.
Yes.
Great freaking flick, man. Completely different than the first one, but it actually connects itself in the end with its twist.
Very
ending.
good. Yeah,
I
very well.
won't give away because maybe somebody will check it out. But it's a fun movie, man. Definitely check that out. And another Sasha Mitchell classic, Kickboxer 3.
Yes,
a great
the Art
one.
Of, the Art of War, Sean. Don't forget the
Yeah. It completely takes the Kickboxer story in a whole nother direction, but it's still a great freaking flick.
Well, it takes a break from Tong Po, which is what it needed.
Yeah, definitely.
And we
And I
had the
like
first
4. One. 4 is a little weird. I mean, it's kind of like oversexed.
It's an Enter the Dragon ripoff is basically what it is.
The tournament was cool. That's the.
But
main
Tom
thing I really
Matthews is
like.
awesome in it as the jerk who
Yeah.
works for Tong Po. And he gets a knife to the head by Salsa Mitchell at the end. It's great.
And Return to Sleepaway Camp, which I still don't understand why Sleepaway Camp fans aren't into it, but because I've always
I
been
still
a fan
haven't
of those
sat and watched
movies,
that
and
one.
I freaking love it. I thought it was a great update.
I have it on DVD, but I just have not popped it watch it yet. I just haven't.
Miracle
Your ass
Beach,
stinks. That's
which
what
is
I remember.
probably my favorite summer movie. It's got Amy Dolenz, Dean Cameron, Pat Morita, Martin Mull, Dean Cain,
Yeah.
and there's probably
Yeah.
a few names I forgot. It's
That's
not
one of the movies I'm watching for 4th of July.
Hell yeah, man! Great freaking movie.
2 weeks.
Just a happy movie. Fast Getaway, which is a Corey Haim, Leo Rossi classic.
Yeah.
A good father and son one for Father's Day if you want to watch something like that. Cynthia Rothrock's in that too. Miss Karate Champion.
Heck yeah.
And I think that's everything. Let me make sure.
Are you sure? Because there's one missing that you didn't mention.
Well, I didn't want to mention the ones y'all mentioned.
No, there's one that hasn't been mentioned yet.
Really?
Bud the Chud.
Maybe. I was getting ready. That was the one I missed.
Oh,
Yeah, but Chud 2, Bud the Chud with Garrett Graham. That is a great one, man.
Better than the first, in my opinion.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
first one I don't mind, man, but it's slow. It's kind of boring. So, but the Chud 2 is rewatchable. I watch Bud the Chud all the time.
It's so entertaining. It's just a fun movie.
Yeah.
It doesn't take itself
And
seriously.
completely not the first one. So
yeah.
The
it's
first
a
movie
freaking
takes itself
flick.
entirely seriously, but the second one definitely doesn't.
Wishmaster 2, which one is one I wasn't going to mention, but that was a decent. It's better than 3 and 4. I think those were Sci-Fi Channel ones, and they're just not as.
I like all of them.
Yeah, I don't dislike them. The first 2 are a lot better.
Yeah.
Bud.
And I wanted to mention a couple I absolutely freaking hate because I don't like to just mention favorites. I gotta hate some shit. So April Fool's Day is abysmal, should have never been made, and disrespectful to a great classic horror movie.
Agreed.
He's talking
Day
about
of
the
the
remake,
Dead.
everyone.
Yes, Day of the Dead 2. I don't know who the fuck thought of this shitbox, but
Oh,
again,
gosh, I forgot
disrespectful
about
to
that.
the original.
That's
Shame
like
on you.
that's the one with like a psychic or something too, right? Or something like that.
I don't want to know.
It's it was so terrible. Day of the
Creep
Dead.
Show 3. I thought that movie was fucking terrible. I don't know how in the hell they were able to get the money to buy the rights to
It was from the same people who did Day of the Dead too, man.
That's
That makes
hilarious.
sense then.
Yeah.
Should have known that, but I'm glad I
Creep
didn't.
Show 3 wasn't even like an anthology. Wasn't it more like a non-linear, like Quentin Tarantino
Yeah,
wannabe
it was
movie?
weird, man.
Yeah.
I didn't like it at all. It was cheap and terrible. And cheap don't bother me at all. It was just terrible. And the Leprechaun in the Hood movies, which I don't mind the sequel much, but I just want to say they suck. So. Now you can go, Ted. You have my permission.
Oh, is it my
And
turn?
that's Ted's list. It's very.
I'm a very diverse human being, you know. So. Well, my first favorite is Leprechaun in the Hood. No, I'm just kidding.
Now let's fight. We haven't had a good fight in a while, Ted.
About due for one.
RoboCop 3 sucks. And I'm just... All right, my list. I'm gonna say Puppet Master 3. I love the whole Puppet Master series, but 3 is my favorite, so I'm gonna put that on there. I love the Nazis. I love the whole
Heck yeah.
backstory for Andre Toulon, his wife, and the puppets actually get backstory, and you find out that they're, they have the spirits of people who have been killed by the Nazis, and it's just a really great movie. Leprechaun 3 I love because it's the Leprechaun in Las Vegas, and even Warwick Davis said, like, on the Blu-ray, he's like, he said the Brian Trenchard Smith, the director, he said was perfect because he understood the humor, and he said he knew how to utilize the humor in the script.
Yeah, that was a fun one. Man.
It is. I love that movie. That was great. I'm going to say, even though it played in AMC theaters but got pulled after 3 days, I'm still going to put it on this list because it might as well have been direct-to-video. Hatchet 2. I freaking love Hatchet 2. It's my favorite.
That's very
in the
true.
franchise.
Yeah.
It's my favorite in the franchise. It's like Aliens, but instead of Space Marines, it's rednecks. You learn more about the backstory of Victor Crowley. You learn about more of the curse of Honey Island Swamp and all that stuff. It's really great. It does what a sequel does. It expands the story, and it's just fantastic. Love Vernon. After Hatchet 2, I am going to have to go with Sean. I'm waiting for my drum roll.
That was terrible.
Sean, you're fired. That's all I guess.
Thank God. Finish with
I'm-
this shit.
Took you long enough.
Mm.
Mark, I know we've been talking about it for a while. Now, my next one, I can't remember if this even went to theaters, but it is so much better than the first one. Ghoulies 2. I love Ghoulies 2.
Oh yeah.
Yes, Sean knows.
Who cares if it was direct to video? It's a great movie.
It was great. The first movie sucks. It is so flippin' boring. But this one does everything the opposite. Charles Band's dad came to direct this one, Albert Band, and it's set in a carnival. The Ghoulies are loose in a carnival, and it's just such a fun movie. Phil Fondacaro is just a great actor, and he's awesome as Nigel. And yeah, and I'm gonna pair that with Ghoulies 3. Ghoulies Go to College, directed by John Carl Beekler, because that movie's fun too.
Yeah.
And
So
Great.
the only
Ghoulies
good
actually
thing
fun.
about Ghoulies is for some reason it's spawned sequels. So
yeah,
that worked great.
the first one is just, oh my goodness.
I think it's
first
very
time
slow and boring. I don't
it was
care
so
very
slow and boring. Nothing happens till the end, and even by that point, you just don't give a crap.
much. Yeah, it does have a fan base, but it's not one of
It does, but it's so boring. So, after Ghoulies 2, I am going to say That's a better drum. You're hired, Sean. You're rehired. It's not horror, but you know what? I don't care. Best of the best 3. It's a great action film.
Yes.
I love it. Tommy Lee goes home. You find out he has a sister and a family, and then you got these white supremacists, which are being led by what's Arlie Ermy, who's uncredited in the movie for some reason. I don't know why. It's weird. He's uncredited, and he has a huge role in the movie. He's in charge of the white supremacists until his underling kills him and takes over, like at the end, towards the end, for the final act. But I mean, it's a great action movie. It's got a great story, a great message.
Directed by Philip Reed too.
Yeah, directed by Philip Reed too, who also plays Tommy Lee. And Dee Wallace Stone has a small role in it as a mother whose older son has been warped by these white supremacists. But he has a character arc too that comes full circle at the end, and it's fantastic. It's a great action movie, and it came out when I was like 10 years old. I remember renting it and just like, man, it's awesome. And Jenny Gershon's in it. Chris McDonald, he's Tommy's brother-in-law.
Definitely check it out.
It is. It's a great end to I like to consider a trilogy. Best of the Best 4 I like too, but it feels more like it feels more separated from the other 3 because it's its own thing. And Tommy Lee's got like a daughter now, and he's got to save her from the Russian mob.
It's a good movie. I felt like he was just trying to keep it alive at that point. Yeah,
and that was the last one that they made too. They only made 4. I mean, Sean's already mentioned. I mean, Sean mentioned Class of 1999 too. I mean, I'm gonna say Bud the Chud just because I love that movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's got one of the best theme songs ever. I always like to just rock out to the Bud the Chud song, man. Bud the Chud. I remember the first time seeing that movie. It was on TV, and I was like a kid flipping through the channels, and it was already at the end when they're freezing. They're trying to get them into the pool to freeze it, you know. And I remember what's her name, the girl, she was on the diving board, and Bud rips out his heart because he's in love with her. And I remember just sitting there watching this on TV. I'm like, what is this? And then years later, I like on Monster HD, because I never saw it on VHS to rent or anything. I started watching this movie, and I was like, holy crud. This is the movie when I was a kid with when that pool scene came up. I was like, this is the same movie. Awesome. I love it when the stuff like that happens, when you finally rediscover movies.
That's how Student Bodies was for me when I rediscovered it. I always knew that movie. I asked so many people, and nobody knew what I was ever talking about, dude.
So yeah, Bud the Chud I love. See, I've already mentioned Chucky stuff, and I'll say Hellraiser Inferno. I love Hellraiser Inferno. It was the first direct-to-video
not a bad one.
Sequel of the franchise. It came out in 2000, and it's a great psychological thriller. I really enjoyed it. It's one of my favorites in the whole franchise.
Yeah, that's actually a really good one, yeah.
Yeah, it's good. A lot of people, compare it to like Jacob's Ladder, which it's definitely has a lot of similarities, but it's a good movie.
Yeah,
and
I was just going to say really quick, just to kind of piggyback off that a little bit, because I totally forgot about that. Another good one in that series, direct-to-video, was Judgment, the most recent one. Mm-hmm. I actually enjoyed that one a lot. I mean, that one and Inferno were pretty good. The rest are trash. But like Judgment, I thought they did a nice job with that, and then I actually like Paul T. Taylor in the role of Pinhead. Unlike
he did a good job.
Yeah, I mean he did a very, very good job for not being Doug Bradley, obviously. And I like the whole auditor character that they had in there too. Overall, I just thought that one was really good too. So sorry, I just wanted to interject that. Really.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I will say I really like Deader too. It was interesting to me, and how it kind of went back to the bloodline that was introduced in part 4. How this guy has a cult, and they can kill people and bring him back to life because he's part of the bloodline that created the box, Lemonchard or whatever.
Yep.
Whatever his name was, I can't think right now. But yeah, so I mean that's good. I'm gonna put on like Sean the ones I hate. Leprechaun in the Hood, it's trash. I hate that movie. It's I don't even understand it. Even Warwick Davis on the Blu-ray, he said, I just didn't get the humor in this movie. Of course, Warwick Davis is a classier guy than I am. I just, it sucks. But he's just like, I just didn't understand the humor, which I'm like, nah, that's all you need to say, Warwick. I know what you think of this movie. So that's Steam. Yeah. I hate that. Hellraiser, Hellworld, I hate. That's the last one with Doug Bradley. It's the 8th movie. It didn't make sense to me, and then all of a sudden people are like, oh, well, it's supposed to be a meta movie. Like, all the other movies are just movies. I hate that. I was like, they didn't even mention that in the movie, though. I mean, I know, like, the whole plot was like, Hellraiser the game, but I was just like, how's there a game, online, it's like an MMORPG or whatever, and I was like, how do all these people know about Cenobites and stuff? And finally people were like, oh, well, because it's a meta movie. And I was like, well, that makes it even worse. That's stupid. I hate that movie. It's just a lame slasher movie, but the Cenobites are doing the killing. And then you find out it's not even the Cenobites. They were all hallucinating because they got pumped full of drugs or whatever.
Hellraiser was a movie, and no one really died in this one.
Yeah. Lance Henriksen actually killed them. That was the thing. But then the real Pinhead shows up at the very end when Lance Henriksen actually has the box and opens it up, and then the real Cenobites. And I'm just like, this doesn't make any sense. It's stupid.
It is.
It's the worst one. Even to me, it's worse than Revelations. I don't care what people say. It is. I almost said See a Chucky, but I was just like, man, that's not a direct-to-video movie.
Fortunately. Should have been direct to trash.
File 13. I will say, one, I don't hate it, but I don't love it. It's Night of the Scarecrow, which came out in the mid-90s. I thought it would be like a decent movie, but it's nothing special.
I didn't like the one called Scarecrow either, man.
Yeah. It's directed by Jeff Burr, who I love, but that movie I don't really care about.
Isn't that the one I watched with you, Sean?
No,
that's the one. Y'all watched the one from the 70s.
That's a different one. That's Dark Night of the Scarecrow.
Yeah, Dark Night of the Scarecrow.
I'll say that wasn't. That one wasn't bad.
Yeah.
This one was made.
That was a TV horror flick.
Yeah, this one was made in the mid 90s. I remember as a kid seeing the VHS and I was like, "Oh, cool, the Killer Scarecrow," because I was into all like Puppet Master and all the killers, all the killer stuff. But I never watched it, and I remember finally buying the Blu-ray from Olive Films and watched it, and I was like, "Oh man, that wasn't as good as I was hoping it would be. Not entertaining or anything." So yeah, but yeah, that's my list. I mean, that's a good list.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, those were definitely some good ones. And as always, we would love to know what you guys think as well. Maybe there's some other ones that you guys enjoy. You can always let us know. You can reach us through our Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, all at CLS Podcast. We do hope you guys enjoyed this show. We're still working our way to episode 100. We're on episode 97 right now, so that's exciting. Just a few more episodes to go before we hit the big 100. But before we go, were there any final words?
Yeah, man. I've always heard when life gives you lemons, you got to make lemonade. But lately, some people have said, Sean, what if I don't have any sugar? And I say, just pick up some of them lemons and throw them at a son of a bitch, and I guarantee you're going to feel better.
Shit. Anybody else?
No, I don't think I can top that.
Yeah, that one was good. All right. Well, if there's nothing else, we appreciate you guys checking out this week's episode, and we will see you guys next week.
This episode of the Crystal Lake Soldiers podcast is brought to you by the Slash and Cast Podcast Network. Check us out at www.clspodcast.com or join in the conversation on social media. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, all at CLS Podcast. Until next time, stay safe, campers.